Hey guys, what's up? Today I'm gonna show you the 10 best modern action JRPGs, in my opinion of course, but I'm gonna be very strict this time. Only games that were released in less than 3 years or so. And also obviously no ports, no remakes, no remasters, no re-releases, whatever. All of these JRPGs were released and developed in 3 years or less. So let's begin! Number 10. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Torna, the Golden Country. You could say that I'm cheating here with this game. It is exactly 3 years old, and by the time you watch this video, add a couple of weeks more. Didn't I say at the intro that all of these games were less than 3 years old? But come on, I couldn't leave it out, I'm sorry. Many see it as merely an expansion pack to the original Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which I'm still not really a fan of. This, however, I see it as its own game since it's a direct prequel and a whole RPG adventure that you can beat in 20 hours or maybe more if you do everything. But by this point you probably already know I have a strong love-hate relationship with it. My playthrough was ruined because near the end the game forced me to do tons of side quests to advance to the final dungeon. Since most gamers usually love doing everything there is to be done in video games today, I thought I'd still recommend it, despite my disappointment. After all, everything else I loved in this game, like the main character, the controls, the world, the music, and especially the battle system. So yeah, give this one a chance if you love side quests. Number 9. Astral Chain. Astral Chain by Platinum Games lets you choose between a male or a female cop, each with a predetermined personality, and like many of these companies' games, its controls are kinda weird and hard to maneuver. Obviously you'll get used to them in time, but switching to other games midway and returning to it might make you feel disjointed sometimes. You will have to control both your main character in regular action battles and your summon called the Legion with some other buttons in your controller. Trust me, once you get the hang of it, this combat is a blast. A couple of missions, including the first one, will be motorcycle stages, including one later with a boss. These ones have good controls, but they can be very fast. Investigation shall take place as you're a damn cop, so of course you gotta investigate, right? Some of them can include some puzzles and your mysterious skills. The game also includes a local co-op mode, but the second player controls the Legion and it's not good. Play this misunderstood gem by yourself, and by the way, it is still an exclusive on the Switch. Number 8. Dragon Marked for Death. This is a 2D action RPG developed by Inti Creates, revolving around side quests and several missions with different objectives. A gift from my buddy Oninaki that I really appreciated. The thing is, the game was released digitally first in 2 parts, each with only 2 of its 4 playable classes. So the physical version had them all, which is exclusive to the Switch, but there's also a digital version for Windows, of course. As I mentioned, you choose between 4 different classes, and there's a world of a difference among them in terms of controls and skills. By carrying out different quests, you'll eventually advance through the story and exact your revenge. This is a game that is better played with somebody else. It has both a local and online multiplayer co-op mode, with up to 4 players simultaneously. I tried this with my friend Oscar and we had a blast together online, but you can't go wrong with the single player campaign, to be honest. So in the end, it is still one of the best modern action RPGs out there. Number 7. Oninaki. Released on PS4, PC and Switch, it's the latest game by Tokyo RPG Factory, It's a beautiful dungeon crawler with some retro elements from classic action RPGs. However, it plays within an isometric environment as you go around fighting enemies with different weapons called daemons. These are summons that help you around in battle in the form of your sword. In fact, the game has a strong emphasis on this, basically revolving around the real world and the netherworld. Your main character, Kagachi, is some kind of reaper that defends the cycle of reincarnation, so most of the story quests will include helping NPC spirits pass on to their next life. Yeah, a very spiritual game with some dark elements and bizarre experiences, just the way I like them. Don't miss out on this little gem here. It got crushed by other popular releases a couple of years ago, but I still believe it's one of the best modern action RPGs nowadays. Number 6. Chrystar. Available on PS4 and PC, prices for the PS4 versions in both Europe and North America had been on the rise for some time, so it's kinda hard to find. I was fortunate enough to receive a PAL copy from my friend Rem as a gift, and I absolutely loved it. You play as Rei, traveling purgatory in search for her sister Mirai. She makes a pact with some evil twins to get her fighting powers. Other girls are in similar situations, so they join forces to also uncover the dark twists of this nightmarish place. Combat, however, is not joined by party members, but rather you switch to them at will. Each girl controls differently, of course, and are better suited for engaging certain enemies. Controls are solid, a great combination of technical and fast-paced, with some neat combos and skills attached. Not a mindless hack and slash system, but not hard to understand either at all. If you like dark, twisted plots with some gothic visuals, this is a must-play. I just hope you can find it for a reasonable price, but if you can't, well, there's always the Windows version. Number 5. Scarlet Nexus. Nobody knew what to expect from this recent Bandai Namco release. It looked as if Astral Chain and Code Vein had a child with some God Eater characteristics, but it turned out to be its own unique game. Contrary to people's belief though, it didn't sell as well as other major Namco releases, even though it also has an ongoing anime series based on it. I guess one thing is that, just like Astral Chain, combat isn't easy to understand. Getting the grasp of your telekinetic powers takes a while, as well as remembering the controls for each move. The story is also kinda bizarre about an organization that bases their forces in some brain substances with mysterious powers. It's kinda post-apocalyptic, but it's more futuristic than anything. I don't know, I liked all of these ideas, so I enjoyed the game, but it's definitely not easy to get into, although I can think of at least 50 JRPGs that are far more complicated than this. So Scarlet Nexus, still one of the best modern action RPGs today. Number 4. Sakura Wars. This is a cross-genre, not exactly a pure RPG per se. It's one of those that combine visual novel, dating simulation, puzzles, minigames, tons of decision making, but also a bunch of badass hack and slash stages. You'll control any character available at each point of the game, usually with only one party member. Ally AI is very responsive, as are your controls and collision detection. Dungeons will be somewhat long while making your way through hordes of enemies. Eventually you'll reach an epic boss fight to unleash your powerful skills and combination attacks. You have a base, which is a theater, since your character is the captain of the squad, whose task also includes supporting the actresses of the place, the heroines of the game, and your party members. Strangely enough, by spending time with them and making the right choices during dialogue is how you and them level up. To some, this isn't an RPG at all, and I respect that. To me, it definitely is, so it's also one of the best ones in modern times. Number 3. Code Vein. You've probably seen me complaining about the Souls series before, or pretty much most Souls-like video games out there. Not this one, because unlike its influences, it has a story/character-driven design. That's what usually keeps me going with hard as hell RPGs like this. And I love the plot here, with its post-apocalyptic setting, its beautifully gothic visuals, and its tragic character development. Sure, the sexualization was extremely notorious, but that's what usually goes on with anime RPGs nowadays. Nothing out of the ordinary. I always respected the Souls type of combat in other games, but here I really enjoyed it. Perhaps because I knew I had empathy and sympathy for the characters, but also because I had a party member fighting by my side. I love this game, it sold really well, commercial success, despite half the internet bitching about it. I couldn't care less, as I still believe it's one of the best modern action JRPGs out there. Number 2, Tales of Arise. To most, the winner here of the past 3 years. A game that exploded in the charts and obsessed the internet. The hype was real, as it did not disappoint most of its players, including me. I did some kind of review of it last week, where I explained all my ups and downs with it. I invite you to watch it. The only thing I'll repeat from there is that I did not think it was the best Tales in the series, but still one of the greatest. Truth be told though, it did feel kinda different from previous Tales games, but in a good way. I personally praise the combat, the challenge, the visuals, the characters and the pacing. Great action RPG here. I don't have much to say about this that I didn't already say in my video, especially since most people have just finished it or are still playing it. Care to join the fan train? I definitely recommend this game. Number 1, Ys 9, Monstrum Knox. Many feel the epitome of the series was Lacrimosa of Dana, the previous game, but much recognition is obliged for the latest entry. It did not perform as well in technical aspects, but I at least was truthfully satisfied with it. I had many things to say about this underrated masterpiece, so I did some sort of review of it a couple of weeks ago. Be sure to check it out for the full explanation. I just think the controls were supreme, like the combat, the gameplay, and the story itself. Those are usually the 3 most important ingredients for me in a JRPG, and they were perfect. I'm also a character-driven guy, and this might be the best cast of characters I've seen in an Ys game. Suffice to say that I did almost every side quest here, and you know me, I very rarely do side content in JRPGs the first time I play them. To hell with the technical issues and the inferior graphics, I love this one and feel very proud to put it on my first place of the best modern action JRPGs. I really don't have honorable mentions. I played Neo The World Ends With You and I liked it. It's a good game, but something feels off with it. I don't know what it is yet. And then there's God Eater 3, but you saw me streaming the game for the very first time and it was only the demo last week, so I didn't have enough time to play the game fully. So give or take, those are my honorable mentions. Now before you click away, let me remind you one more time that my books are available in Amazon. Links in the description below. Thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe and share this video with your friends. Buy the books. See you next time.